Hello friends, this is Professor Parth Karan. In our today's lecture, we are going to learn about transient heat conduction. To understand what is transient heat conduction, which is also known as unsteady state heat conduction, first we need to understand what is steady state heat conduction. So we know that whenever there is a temperature of system does not vary with time, then we can say that the system is in steady state. We know that whenever we supply heat or extract heat from the system, the temperature of the system is changing with respect to time before reaching to the steady state. This state is known as the unsteady state, or we can say that a transient state, and where temperature is a function of time, and conduction of heat in unsteady state refers to the transient heat conduction. So to understand transient heat conduction, first we need to understand lump parameter. So what is lump? What is lump system? So let's understand. Always all solids have some finite amount of thermal conductivity which is based on its material, and there will be always a temperature gradient inside the solid whenever heat is added or removed. However, solids of large cell thermal conductivity with surface area that are large as compared to their volume, like plate or thin wire, have very less internal resistance as compared to its external or convective resistance. So the system or solid who have large thermal conductivity and large surface area as compared to its volume have very less internal resistance, or we can say that a conductive resistance as compared to convective resistance. So what happens when we apply some heat to this kind of system, or we extract heat from this kind of system? The temperature of the body, temperature at any point of the system will remain same, like this. In this system you can see that the temperature at any point is 70 degrees Celsius, because the material of this solid is such that the conductivity of this material is very high. The surface area of the system as compared to its volume is very high. So the temperature in this process remain uniform at given time. So this kind of system can be considered as the lump system. So the system which have higher thermal conductivity and higher surface area as compared to volume can be considered as the lump system, because the temperature at any point of the system has the same value. Now suppose we have this kind of lump system whose temperature is higher as compared to the surrounding temperature, so that there is a temperature difference and heat will flow from the system to the surrounding. Let's initial temperature of the system is Ti and the ambient temperature, surrounding temperature, is Ta. Rho is the density of this system, V is volume of this body, C is the specific heat of the system, and H is the convective heat transfer coefficient between the surrounding fluid and the solid body. T is the temperature of body at any time. Ti is the initial temperature, Ta is the surrounding temperature, and T is the temperature at any time, and As is the surface area of the system which is available for the convection heat transfer, and tau is the time. So we know that there is a heat transfer between this system and surrounding by convection mode. So we know the heat transfer rate by convection mode is Ha delta T, and because of this heat transfer from this system, there is change in internal energy of the system which is mCp delta T. So the mCp dt by d tau is the same as the amount of heat rejected by the system to the surrounding. The change in internal energy of the system because of heat rejection to the environment will same as the amount of heat rejected by the system to the surrounding, which can be calculated by Ha delta T, because the whatever amount of heat transfer takes place between system and surrounding, it is by convection mode, which is Ha delta T. This is nothing but mCp dt by d tau because we considered with respect to time. Instead of m, we can write down density into volume. So this is nothing but our m So this is mc dt by d tau. dt is a temperature difference, d tau because we consider with respect to time, minus negative sign shows that the internal energy is decreasing because system is rejecting heat, because the temperature of system is higher as compared to the surrounding, so that the heat is rejected by the system. So internal energy is decreasing, that's why here the negative sign. Now simplifying this equation by giving integration to this equation, putting this T minus TA in upon dt, putting this rho Vc in upon of HA, so it becomes HA upon rho Vc, integration of this d tau, putting d tau here. Now we know that 1 upon something, it becomes ln of something, here there is 1, so integration is become tau plus constant C1. Now we need to find out value of this constant by using boundary condition. So what is our boundary condition? We know that at tau is equal to 0, at starting point the temperature of our system is Ti, initial temperature. So putting this this boundary condition in this equation, instead of tau, if we put 0, this term will become 0, so that C1 is equal to ln, instead of T we can write Ti, ln Ti minus Ta. Putting this value of C1 in this equation, we will get ln T minus Ta is equal to minus HA tau upon rho Vc, plus instead of C1 we can write ln Ti minus Ta. Now putting this ln in left hand side of the is equal to, so ln x minus ln y, it becomes ln x by y, so that ln T minus Ta upon Ti minus Ta, and if we remove ln from left side, so the term at the right side of is equal to becomes exponential of minus HA upon rho Vc tau e raised to dx. If ln x is equal to y, then we can write x is equal to e raised to y. So here we remove ln, so this term will be exponential minus HA rho Vc tau. This T minus Ta we can write as a theta, temperature difference, and Ti minus Ta is initial temperature difference, so we can write theta I. So this is the equation for the lump system. In this equation, the exponential term HA upon rho Vc into tau can be rearranged to make it more simpler. HA rho Vc tau. Now in this equation, we can multiply by volume and divide by volume. Volume is already there, so in upon this is V square. We multiply by surface area and divide by surface area. So if we multiply by surface area to this term, it would become AS square. Multiplying by conductivity and dividing by conductivity K. Tau is already there and C, specific heat, is already there. Why we do this? To simplify this equation, let's understand. This is our volume upon area. We know that volume by area is known as the characteristic length. Volume upon area, volume upon surface area is known as the characteristic length, which is denoted by LC. So instead of volume upon surface area, we can write down characteristic length LC. So this term becomes HLC by K. We know the K by rho C. K by rho C is thermal diffusivity. K by rho C is thermal diffusivity. So instead of K by rho C, thermal diffusivity, which is denoted by alpha. Tau, this is V square by AS square, volume square upon surface area square, so it is LC square. There are two thermal property of any system: thermal conductivity and thermal diffusivity. Thermal conductivity is the ability of material to conduct the heat. Similarly, K by rho C is a thermal diffusivity of any material, which is denoted by alpha, and it is ability of material to how much faster it diffuse the heat within the material. Thermal conductivity is ability of material to conduct the heat from the environment, and thermal diffusivity is ability of material to diffuse the heat within the system. So this is two properties, thermal properties of any system: thermal conductivity and thermal diffusivity. Thermal conductivity is denoted by K, and thermal diffusivity is generally denoted by alpha, which is K by rho C. So here instead of K by rho C, we have written diffusivity alpha. tau upon LC square. LC is a characteristic length which is ratio of volume upon surface area. Alpha K by rho C is thermal diffusivity of the solid. LC is characteristic length which is ratio of volume of any solid and to the surface area of the solid. So for different geometry, the characteristic length are different. For suppose we have flat plate, then volume, then the ratio of volume by surface area, or we can say that characteristic length would be L by 2. For cylinder, the surface area of the volume is pi r square L. Suppose height of the cylinder is L, then the volume would be pi r square L, and the surface area would be 2 pi r into L. So for cylinder, characteristic length would be r by 2. For spherical, the volume would be 4 by 3 pi r cube if the radius is a capital R, and the surface area would be 4 pi r square. So for sphere, characteristic length is r by 3. In numerical, we are going to directly use this r by 2 for cylinder geometry and r by 3 for the spherical. Now, so that this equation, we again take this equation, HAS upon rho C into tau is equal to this equation. So it is simplifying HLC by K alpha tau LC square. This HLC by K is a dimensionless number which is known as the Biot number. Biot number, generally Biot number is the ratio of conduction resistance to the convection resistance. This is the simple definition of Biot number, that Biot number is dimensionless number which is ratio of conduction resistance of the any system to the convection resistance of the any system. Now we know that the conduction resistance is L by Ka and convection resistance is 1 upon Ha. So the Biot number would be HLC by K. Biot number would be HLC by K because conduction resistance is L by Ka and convection resistance is H by 1 upon Ha. So Biot number would be HLC by K. Now if the value of Biot number becomes 0, then the system would behave like exact lump system, because if we put 0 instead of this Biot number, then conduction resistance, value of conduction resistance becomes 0. It means there is no internal resistance. So system behaves like exact lump system. The temperature at any point of the system will remain same. But it is ideal condition. There is no such a system like a lump system. It is one reference point. If Biot number is greater than 0, of course convection resistance is higher as compared to, because if Biot number is greater than 0, convection resistance is higher than the conduction resistance, which is approximate lump system. But if Biot number if Biot number is less or equal to 0.1, the lump system analysis can be applied. So to apply lump, to consider system to be lump or not, the Biot number should be less or equal to 0.1. If it crosses this value, then there will be an error by considering the system as a lump system, because in that system conduction resistance is higher as compared to convection resistance. So instead of HLC by K, we can write Biot number. This alpha tau upon LC square is known as the Fourier number. So we can write this equation in more simplified way, like T minus T upon Ti minus Ta is equal to e raised to minus Biot number into Fourier number. In this equation, T is the temperature of the any system at particular time tau. Ti is surrounding temperature, Ti is initial temperature of the system. So this is the theory of transient heat conduction. By solving numerical of transient heat conduction, you will easily clear the concept of this theory. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.